Dzień dobry, assalamu alaikum, ciao, konnichiwa, bonjour, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Ken at 10. How are you today? It's Friday, right? Fantastic. We love a Friday. If you're a regular viewer, you'll know I love a Friday. And if you just joined us, welcome. Thanks for joining us. We are James Alexander Estate Agents. We broadcast daily and we talk about all things UK property, what's going on with the market, what's going to go on with the market post the June deadline, and all sorts of other things related to property and anything else we decide, really. How are you? Hope you're having a good day. If you come back and you've been here before, then thanks for joining us once more. What's going on? Well, first of all, it's raining here in southwest London. Yeah, that's right, rain. But I think the flowers will be glad of it because it's been beautiful this week, an absolute stonker of a week, and a little bit of rain won't do anyone any harm. That's what I say. And if you like the property you're looking at in the rain, you're going to love it in the sunshine. So a few bits of news today. One thing, a lot of people are, we were looking at the different reasons this week on our podcast. And let me put a banner up so you know where to find that. And we're just about to put a podcast out. And this week we're talking about house prices, what determines house prices, and also what's likely to happen post-June. But the short version is that, one of the things that really, I think, makes a difference is if you look at what you can do with money these days. I was doing some stats earlier on and thinking, well, if you had £200,000 right now, and you put it into the bank, you would be getting in a year hardly any interest at all. In fact, you'd be getting over a year, if you had £200,000 at a rate of 0.1%, which is typical, you'd be getting £200. Now, given that inflation is running at roughly 3%, that means you'd be losing just by sitting on that money. The value of that money would drop by £6,000 in a year. And that's one of the reasons why property as an asset class is so fantastic. Bitcoin, it's been great for some, bad for others, so volatile, it's unbelievable. And you can't live in a Bitcoin. You can live in a house. Not only that, in the long term, property always wins. Really interesting to see what will happen post-June. We think a number of things will come to the fore. There will be buyers and sellers which divorce from each other, each blaming the other, saying that they're the reason why they haven't saved this 15,000. No doubt that's going to come. Hopefully not too many. Hopefully most people will make that deadline, and those that don't will be patient and continue past the deadline. And then from there, of course, we've got the September deadline. Our view is that prices won't be negatively affected massively. Why? Because we've got very low interest rate economy, meaning most people aren't desperate to sell, but they'd like to sell. Therefore, if they can't sell at a price that they consider fair, they will pull their property off the market and or rent it out, where the yields and returns are above the rate of inflation, meaning that actually there's an advantage to keeping that money in property as opposed to cashing it, chucking it in the bank. You could put it into shares, yes. And if you're intelligent, know what you're doing, there's a chance you could outpace that. But there's nothing safer than bricks and mortar. And here's a stat for you. From 1990, the average UK price was 50,000 and now at 250 in 2020. That stat on its own tells you everything you need to know about whether property is a safe investment in the UK in the long term. Apart from that, a few bits of news that caught my eye today. First one was that the amount of mortgages handed out is higher than any time in the last few years, which is good to see. It just goes to show that first-time buyers are back. And I think that's fantastic because that's what we need, is first-time buyers to be back in the marketplace. Why? Because they drive the broader market forwards. And this is one of the driving factors that I think will help us to underpin the property market when this deadline dies. What I mean by that is first-time buyers, remember, don't pay stamp duty up to the first 300,000. On that, there'll be lots of people that still can buy without any stamp duty implications whatsoever. Those people will be buying here in London flats, and those flats have stagnated for a while now. Those people in those flats will want to get out. They'll want that garden space, and this will be a new driver of the market because remember, the first-time buyer mortgages only came out in April, and many new offers are coming out every day, it seems, with mortgages. So I think that will help to underpin prices past the deadline. Time will tell. But that's an interesting thing. The other thing is that UK homeowners are apparently across the UK undervaluing their homes by an average of 46,000, according to Zoopla. It's not our experience. They usually overvalue, but it really does depend from person to person. Some people have no idea. Some people have over-optimistic ideas, and some people are way under. And it's always fascinating to chat to people and say, and often you can see on their face whether the price that you've quoted as a valuer is over or under their expectation. Something else which caught my eye today, Robert Jenrick, the Housing Secretary, Yeah, there's a, housing secretaries. There's one every year, isn't it? It's crazy. Why just leave one there? Chance to do their job properly. He's launched a First Homes initiative. This sounds good. The only thing is that it's limited. The First Homes initiative will give first-time buyers the opportunity to purchase properties at a 30% discount. That same 30% will then be passed on with the sale of the property to future first-time buyers, meaning homes will always be sold below market value to future generations. Love that idea, getting people below the ladder to properties to become affordable for them. The first properties, however, will go on sale in Bolsover in Derbyshire, which is a shame. We'd like to see this in London. The government plans to have at least 10,000 homes a year being delivered in the years ahead, and more if there is demand. Well, of course, there'll be demand. Under the scheme, local authorities will be given government funding, which will then be used to subsidise developers. The question for me is whether those developer subsidies will be adequate for developers to consider it worth their while doing it. And if there'll be enough incentives in place, because that's what we need, is to incentivize builders to offer cheaper accommodation for people so more people can get on the ladder and become homeowners. That's in everybody's interest for sure. So I'm excited to see that. It's Friday. What's special about Friday for estate agents is the fact that it's a day when people make decisions about their weekend. What properties are they going to tick onto their A list? Can we get them viewing our clients' properties? We'll certainly be doing our best. And, it's ring round day. It's a day when we contact every buyer that's looking for property in our area and say, are you still looking? What are you looking at? We've got a number of things that might suit your needs. And a phrase which I love, which means that, trying to look at a buyer and relate the benefits of the property that you're selling to their needs. So, for instance, if they had a dog and it had a 100-foot garden, you might say, I've got a fantastic property for you, John. The great reason you're going to love this one is it's got a 100-foot garden, which means that Rex can run around out there. And already now, that buyer has got Rex running around in that garden in his mind and wants to see it. And that's how to sell residential property. Relate the benefits of the property to individuals' needs. So any other agents out there watching, you're welcome. Apart from that, hope you have a fantastic day and a great weekend as well. We're certainly looking forward to it. Hope you are too. If we can give you any advice, help, tips, or tricks in terms of buying or selling, we're here for you, not just for those that are selling through us, anyone. We love speaking about property, and if we can help you, you need to get in touch with us. Direct message us, email me, ken@jamesalexander.com. You can even call me, 0208 679 8601. Next week, we're back on Homes Under the Hammer, doing a shoot in Streatham. Looking forward to that. Always brings more business when we're on the telly. BBC Free is always good. We love it. So have a great day. Fantastic weekend, and we'll be back on Monday with another edition. Stay safe and well.